like you lost another one.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to another episode of the Wrestling Revival Podcast. I am your humble host, Mr. Here for the Petty, Mr. Cyber Yeti, and trust me, I am feeling very petty right now, like beyond petty, like you better hope you're paying your bills on time, petty, mister. You better be taking care of your responsibilities, petty, before, somebody shows up to TD Garden. Oh, I'm sorry, I'm putting too much information out there. Hold on. Let me pump the brakes a little bit. I gotta pump the brakes a little bit. Otherwise, I'm gonna have people over here like, or else it could be worse. I could be sending people to bed like this. But anyway, let me go ahead and slow down before I really start getting into people and this turns into a 20-minute roast session and the Reverend ain't going to be able to save nobody after I'm done with them. Anyway, over here to the other side of me, you see Mr. DJ Notorious, Mr. Notorious approved. In other words, the Yankee, the asshole, the everything in between.
Hey, reel that back in, sir. Reel that back in. Reel it in.
Reel it in. Okay. We're going to reel it in. We're not going to get into it quite yet. Jeez. But anyway, to pay a bill, because you got to pay your bills because, rent's due.
Chill.
We got to send a huge thank you to our sponsor, Ulti Energy. Make sure you go hit them up over on their website, ultisubs.com. Use our discount code Revival Army for 10% off your purchase. Go over there, pick yourself up a nice shaker. They also got the big boys. They got the, 64 ounces? Or the
64 ounce.
64 ounces? Jesus Christ. And also make sure you pick yourself up the flavor here. I got the orange dreamsicle here. This is probably one of the good ones right here too.
Always with that orange, man. Always.
Hey. Yeah, gotta always be. Oh, don't be starting that. I'm gonna break out the damn trash cans. I'm gonna start banging some shit. All right. So anyway, we've went ahead and paid some bills here. So let's go ahead and how are you doing, DJ? How's everything?
I'm doing good. Guys, we were away for a few weeks, handling some big business of our own, which we will talk a little bit about later. Maybe a hint, maybe two, of what we got working on here. I'm giving you a little Brooklyn vibes with the Biggie on over here. And we got a lot of things to talk about tonight. Me and Mr. Houston Astros lover over there, we got into a nice heated debate about what we're talking about tonight. So
oh man,
get it in because this is going to get good. I mean, really, really good. And just let you know, it was definitely me.
Before we jump into that, let's go ahead and jump into the comments here real quick. We got Bananas Epic Gaming. Thank you so much for jumping in. We do appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Man, here we go. Okay. The whitest white boy who has his talking privileges revoked. I swear, DMX is rolling in his grave right now because of the monstrosity we just watched on a YouTube short. And I can tell you this, I think I'm getting called in front of the congregation pretty soon about that because I can tell you this, I don't think that's going to be acceptable.
I'll check it soon.
The Bloodline, my Arizona Chief Jordan Fox sent me here.
Well,
there you go. Thank you so much for that. We appreciate it. Here we go. Apparently, he's got a Yankee supporter over here.
Exactly. Don't
Oh,
ever disrespect
Jesus.
the most storied franchise of all time. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. Look, I just gotta tell this real quick, and then I know he's gonna want to continue on with the show. How you do with me and MLB the show last year?
I
I'll
ain't
just
worried
leave it
about
at
that.
that. I'll just
I
leave
ain't
it
worried
at
about
that.
that.
I'll just
I
leave it
ain't
at
worried
that.
about that.
How many strikeouts? I'm just saying.
I'm not
Look,
worried about that. You
okay,
know
you
what?
should
It's a
be.
new season. It's a new
Mm,
season. It's all good. It's a
mm.
new season.
All right. Okay. So let's see
All
here.
right.
We got Peter here once again. I can't help that. Look, you know what? Nope. We're not gonna do this. Let's just start on with the show.
You look like Malibu's Most Wanted after the movie was shot, and he became a little bit of a crackhead.
I can't. I really can't.
So, do we really want to start this tonight, Peter?
Poor
And
Tim.
then Mr. Epic Gaming over here laughing about the Houston. Go ahead, laugh. It's all right. Let's see what happens come middle of
Next
the
week.
summer. Oh, next week? Yeah.
Next week.
Opening day. It's a Yankee and an Astro. We're gonna be at each other's throat more than what we were earlier tonight.
Yeah.
All right.
Get
Gotta
that.
support my grandma's favorite team, Rip. Hey, it's understandable, man. It's understandable. Gotta support the much you can. All right. So first things first. What are we gonna go ahead and talk about first tonight here, DJ? What you looking at?
Well, let's just get started with Mr. Cody Rhodes and The Rock. Now, Cody and The Rock have been going back and forth for the past couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm.
We unfortunately got The Rock concert on SmackDown just this past Friday. Some people said they loved it. I thought it was 23 minutes of bull. And basically, I've seen it so many times over the past 20 years from The Rock. So it was nothing new for me. I understand he had the John Morant bar there. They were in Memphis. What do you expect? But
and then he decided to break out Moana.
Yeah, like really.
What can I say except you're welcome? No,
Yeah,
we would say thank you if you would get the hell off my TV and stop pushing your own bullshit.
Exactly. So that's basically what it was. But then Cody Rhodes had the nice clap back. Word to Ja Rule. And yeah, let's just take a look at it.
Great one. Are you going to be the hero that I had growing up? Are you going to have all that big Dwayne energy? Or is it just going to be LDS, Little Dick Syndrome?
I don't care where you're from. You could be from New York. You can unfortunately be from Houston. But anywhere you're from, those are fighting words.
You ready to knock someone's block off for that one.
Yeah, that was good. But you know something? I'm actually glad. Because besides the slap that he gave The Rock the previous week before that, and now this, Cody was out here looking like a bystander. He was just letting everybody just hit him up, do what they want, say what they want to say. And it was good seeing that from Cody. You know, we got a little bit more TV 14-ish with Cody because, you know, he was towing that company line that seems like all the big superstars do when they're in WWE. But it was rather refreshing to see someone other than The Rock use suggestive language. How did you feel about it, Cyber?
To be honest, I love the direction. I love the direction it's going. I like the fact that, you know, now the wrestlers are starting to get a little more freedom in regards to what they can say, and they don't have anybody whispering in their ear, you cannot say this shit. Or like the commentators hearing Vince McMahon yelling at you in your earpiece for a good 45 minutes during a show. So I really do think that I like the direction. I think they're preparing themselves to be on Netflix. I think that's what it's coming down to.
And yeah, that's the whole thing. We're going to go through the rest of this year here. And when they're basically on that road to WrestleMania 41, that's when they're going to be right there on Netflix. So good marketing for them.
Yeah, most definitely. Looking here at Epic Gaming. Speaking of The Rock, rumors are a new member of the Bloodline might be showing up soonish, Friday or night 2. Tama.
Yeah.
I mean,
Some things are there. I think he's on to something with that, but I think he might start with NXT first. It seems like all the new signees lately go through NXT for a small or big run, depending on who it is.
yeah.
And I think that's what they're going to do with him as well. Will be a big get wherever. NXT ratings will go up if he goes there first. Main
Well,
roster, same thing.
I could tell you this: if they continue this trend with allowing the wrestlers to have more freedom and kind of speak their minds and not be censored as much as they were before,
Yep.
I can honestly see Tama Tonga showing up and going to Raw, because once Raw makes the jump over to Netflix, it's free reign at that point. Tama Tonga is going to be able to be fucking Tama Tonga. He's going to be able to say what he's always said. You're still going to hear him cussing up a damn storm like you did back in New Japan, and I am going to be here for it. Now, will he join the bloodline? I could see him starting up the Civil War between bloodline members.
Oh, so just being a pure instigator. Okay.
Come on, dude. What do you think he was in New Japan?
Nah, he definitely was. He always had something smart to say.
Come on, he started up the firing squad, for crying out loud, just on a whim.
We know about the firing squad. We know about that video, don't we?
Oh
yeah. About that.
We know.
You know,
and the firing squad usually goes after the people they don't pay, but that's how that goes. And yes, I'm going to be dropping that shit all night, and I don't give a fuck who that is, please. No, they're going to need Jesus after I'm done.
Oh Lord, the pastor is on the way, y'all. The pastor is on the way. But no, I did see that Bananas Epic Gaming did talk about Hollywood Rock and having the story end at MSG, for obvious reasons involving Cody Rhodes. Well, hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's highly unlikely Survivor Series gets the Madison Square Garden treatment for many different reasons. Usually has to be done 8 to 10 months in advance. It's almost the end of March, y'all. And then on top of that, you have 2 permanent tenants that get the dates before anybody else. That is the New York Knicks and the New York Rangers. So,
and also too, you got to realize there's already massive rumors out that SummerSlam is going to be in Cleveland.
Oh, it is. It's official. It will be in Cleveland this year.
Yeah,
at
so
the Cleveland Browns Stadium, home of the NFL Cleveland Browns.
Well, also too, the rumored card has Cody and Roman going at it again, which really begs the question: is Cody going to finish the story? Is he going to finish the story at Mania? And is Roman going to get his contractual, or whatever the hell they call it these days, rematch for the title?
I mean, that could be it, but honestly, at this point, I just want WWE to do this.
It's a goddamn button. Press a goddamn
button. Just get it over with. You use your whole
pushing of the button is coming.
Yeah, like it needs to happen at this point, because you have your whole year. He went through a year before to do this whole story. He loses. Now you want to finish the story this year. You used it on your marketing for your video game, which is doing well, actually.
Yeah.
What else can this man do? The story has to finish.
And
maybe in a rematch of some sorts at SummerSlam might be good, but yeah.
And all I got to say too is this story has gotten DJ and I to the point of,
I'm so sick of these people.
These people being WWE management, turning around and finally doing what they should have done last year.
Yes, because we are both in agreement with that. They should have pulled the trigger last year and gave Cody that moment at WrestleMania. I'm hoping they do it this year, because if they, I'm not even going to talk about that. We still got a couple more weeks before WrestleMania. But yeah,
okay, now
it needs to be done.
Look at this comment here. I don't think that's going to happen.
Okay, SummerSlam,
and a lot of things are already pointing in the direction that it's not going to happen.
SummerSlam is August 3rd, so that would be before Berlin. Of course, the PL lead-out will be in Berlin, Germany. Roman has to hold it past September 30th, 24 to move past that person named Boella. So we will see how petty Paul. You know something? If we want to just go about records, then why are we even watching it at this point?
Because then we'll know every time a title is going to change, and we'll know every time when we need to tune in to see the title change. And
It,
it's doesn't
but
make sense.
it's getting to the point though right now. Like, I don't know if people know this, but Bruno Sammartino is in WWE 2K24. Gee, I wonder why of all years he's in 2K24. The Roman, the record, and all this other nonsense. Hogan's going to be there regardless. People are going to talk about Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, whichever one you want to talk about, forever in the history of WWE. It's just what it is. He doesn't need to break that record. Roman has had a long run, a very good one in most people's eyes. But enough is enough. Enough is enough.
My only problem is I wish they would have done this a couple years earlier when he was more full-time, and it would have made a lot more sense. Because at that point, he would have more title defenses under his belt than what he does now. Because right now, it just looks like his reign is kind of irrelevant. Because what? He has less than 60 defenses over the past couple years?
Something around that number. Now, I don't know if it's exactly 60, but it's somewhere around there.
So that brings up the question, okay, there's less than 60 defenses compared to the other people who are on this list. They've had hundreds of defenses against everybody. They were at every weekly show. They were at everything, and they defended. Roman hasn't done that. When is the last time we've seen him defend on a SmackDown?
It's been a while.
My case in point. So like I said, I understand what they're trying to do, but I think also too Triple H can see the writing on the wall as well. And plus, rumor has it, Roman Reigns is ready to make the jump to go and try to do movies again.
So that means a nice little
break. So
break.
after SummerSlam, he's probably on a jet heading to Hollywood with The Rock after that.
Wow. So that would make sense that would be happening sooner rather than later. Getting the little break in between WrestleMania and then coming back up at SummerSlam, yeah, that makes sense.
I would say early 2022 Epic. I think that's the last time we saw him defend on SmackDown or anything like that. It was back in like early 2022.
Sounds just like that.
Yeah. So, yeah, needless to say.
But yeah, definitely let us know how you feel about what's going on with Cody Rhodes, The Rock, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, Bloodlines, American Nightmares, everything all in there. Let us know on our social media. Of course, that will be the Wrestling Revival Podcast. That can be found on IG, on X, because last time I checked, Elon Musk is still calling it X, TWRP_official, and then on TikTok. That's right, you TikTokers out there, we're on there too, TWRP_official_. Let us know what you think about this 2-night main events going on with The Rock, Cody, Roman, and Seth freaking Rollins.
Just one last comment before we move on in regards to this. The whole thing with WrestleMania and the way that it's planned out, this is kind of dipping into what we were talking about earlier. There are a lot of people on this card that wouldn't have been on this card in the previous regime. But I do agree with DJ when he did say this, though. There is one particular superstar that's there that should have had his moment last year instead of trying to force it on us this year.
I wonder who you're talking about. Would that be El Generico?
It is El Generico. And like you said, I honestly think, now that I had some time to think about it, I do have a feeling it's going to turn into a triple threat where Chad Gable's going to be in it, and Sami Zayn is going to eat the pin from Chad Gable to take the Intercontinental title.
Yeah, that's one of our conversations, because myself and, Cyber, Mr. Astro's over there, Mr. Verlander, and we beat up on garbage cans. We have conversations throughout the week going on in wrestling, and we did talk about this. And I wanted to know from you guys listening in right now on this premium service we call YouTube and X, How do you feel about Sami Zayn being in this match against Gunther for the IC title? Because I think I was with a lot of people, and Cyber included. We thought Chad Gable was going to get that victory there and, get to finish his story against Gunther at WrestleMania. I think personally, Triple H went with the safe bet with Sami Zayn, and they were quite surprised at the reaction that they got when Sami actually got the pin. So let us know throughout the night how you feel about that, and we'll let your voice be heard.
Yeah.
Let's see. And Bananas already jumped on it there. Gable pins Sami. Gunther looks strong. Gunther goes on to kill Drew at Berlin for the world title. I mean, sounds like somebody's either playing GM mode on 2K24 or they can see
Let me tell you
future.
something. If Drew McIntyre wins that title at Mania, he's not walking out with it. He's not walking out with it.
I see what you did there. I see. Because some senor still has a briefcase.
And you know what? That Puerto Rican's going to have a lot of people on his side if he does that.
Yeah, he'll definitely get that in there. I mean, it would be good because finally he'll do something with that, briefcase. It feels like, it's been a part of him for years, but it's only been not even a full year yet. But
yeah,
that would be nice. So, but this next one right here that we're going to talk about here on the show, we still got, we're going to talk about Dynamite because that's going to be a heated topic here tonight because certain Astro really has a lot to say with that. But this one, I know if you know Cyber Yeti, this one is definitely going to hit home. We were looking into getting close to WrestleMania, and we wanted to know what was going on with Bray Wyatt. Is he going to be in the Hall of Fame? Is he not? Still kind of on that bubble for you March Madness people out there. But Cyber, why don't you tell them what the WWE and Peacock is doing with Mr. Bray Wyatt?
Well, Bray Wyatt is officially going to be having a special on Peacock, Becoming Immortal. It will debut on April 1st. And I can tell you this, if you go onto YouTube and you actually look this up, you will actually see the trailer for this documentary. And I can tell you this, when I first found out Bray Wyatt passed away, I was a big fan of his since he was in NXT after he converted from his very first character to Bray Wyatt. And what was his name? Like Husky something? Husky
Harris.
Husky Harris. There you go. Now, ever since he converted from that all the way into what he was before he passed, I followed him. I loved his character. And as soon as I started hearing Bo Dallas starting to talk about him in this promo, I swear to God, dude, I hardly cry about anything. I got choked up hearing this. And to top it all off, hearing that Undertaker is also going to be narrating this biography, huge. I am definitely going to be watching it night one that it comes out.
No, definitely. The day after Easter Sunday, it'll be right up there, probably 6 a.m. So if you guys are off for that week, spring break or whatever, definitely tune into that. I personally will be looking into it right before Monday Night Raw that Monday night to just get the whole full aspect of it. It is good. You are right. It is being narrated by Taker. Shout outs to Buzzing with Marlo with that news there.
Yes, sir.
I hope they did a good job with this because Bray Wyatt is a very, very touchy subject right now. If it's going to be done, it better be done right.
Exactly.
WWE has not done wrong when it comes with their specials and documentaries. They do a very good job with them. I'm just hoping that streak doesn't end.
Well, let me put it to you like this. If they're actually getting Undertaker involved, which Undertaker was a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. He was a huge fan of Bray Wyatt. He was fully expecting to pass the torch on to Bray Wyatt into building that next version of of an immortal character, of a phenom character.
Yes.
He was fully expecting to pass it on to Bray Wyatt and let him grow with that. And, just having him do that, especially at the Raw anniversary show, after that whole little interaction they had and he whispered to him, I really hope he says what he told Bray Wyatt, because I can tell you this, that's probably going to break a lot of people if he does say what he said to him.
And I have a feeling that's probably going to come out somewhere during this documentary special. So if you don't have Peacock, you should already have it, because remember, here in the States, it's the only way you get to watch WrestleMania. But even more of something now to actually watch and see exactly what's going on with it. Bananas, Epic Gaming. He says, someone who I know that has seen it said it wrecked her and didn't really know the guy's wrestling background. Seeing his kids and JoJo and Bo and his father talk about him was hard to watch. Yes, for some of y'all that don't know, Bray Wyatt was a part of a family, not the family you saw on screen on WWE, but the Rotunda family, of course, being Dad Mike
IRS.
Rotunda, who was also known as IRS. And of course, Bo was in NXT and WWE as well. So it's a whole family affair, word to Mary J, with this. So I'm hoping this is what you get here. So, Cyber, I'm going to ask you, because you are, I think, the biggest Bray Wyatt fiend fan out here in all of the wrestling world. Do you think we get Bray inducted this year, or are they going to wait till next year and give him the full red carpet treatment?
Okay, so I kind of have two mindsets in regards to what will happen with Bray Wyatt in regards to the Hall of Fame. One is Triple H is going to strike when the iron's hot. I hate to say it that way, but that's kind of how it is. When the iron's hot, and they're going to induct him this year. After the biography drops, shortly thereafter, they will announce that Bray Wyatt gets inducted. That's one thing I have in mind that's going to happen. The second thing I have in mind is they're going to do this biography, release it, and then see how it is received by the wrestling world. And depending on how well it's received, they're going to wait until next year to induct him, and then they will turn around and give him the full red carpet experience. They will make him the main person, kind of like what Paul Heyman is this year. They will make him the main event. They will make him the center of the Hall of Fame, and it will get everybody involved. It will get the Rotundas involved. It will get the Wyatt family involved. It'll get, it'll get Alexa Bliss involved. It'll get a lot of these people who worked closely with Bray Wyatt. It will get them involved, and it will be a very big thing for him. Honestly, I kind of hope for the second option to happen, because then I could see them making him the center of the Hall of Fame, giving him the cover of 2K25. Given, doing the whole 9 yards,
Right?
Including giving him the showcase.
I think that's just automatically it will have to go to him. Nobody else.
That's best case scenario for me. Is I'm leaning more toward option 2 than what I would be the first option.
Okay.
I think at first it was fresh with me. I was like, yes, it needs to happen. He just passed away. But after having some time to sit on it and think about it, I honestly feel like now, wait until next year, do the whole 9 yards with him, give him his flowers the right way, and then we can move on from there. What does that mean? That means one of the biggest ones that's been waiting for years to get inducted. That means Batista has to wait another year.
Well,
because he wants the red carpet rolled out for him.
I mean, he's been in Hollywood for so many years. I mean, fine, he could wait a couple of more years with it. I'm actually in agreement with you, and new people to the show, usually Yankee and Astro, do not agree. But we do agree when it comes. You know what? Go fuck a goat, man. Seriously, go fuck a goat. All right, go fuck a goat. But no, seriously, I am also into option 2. I think right now with the way that the rollout has been for the inductees, and real quickly, shout outs to all that has been inducted so far. There's a rumor of one more person being put onto it. And if
Epic
it is
Gaming
that,
just said something in chat about it.
yes, if it is that person, okay. But shout outs to Thunderbolt Patterson, the US Express, Paul Heyman, the estate of the Muhammad Ali, Nakano, I think is the name for Bull. If I'm not mistaken, if I said it wrong, I apologize.
I think so. I think you said it right. I think.
Right. So, shout outs to all of them. And of course, Paul Heyman headlining the whole thing this year. Great for all of them to be in there. But yes, I think Bray deserves that full year treatment. Get the 2K25 cover. Literally, honestly, I'm putting it out there. This is how you can announce Bray Wyatt is in the Hall of Fame. Y'all all know that Hall of Fame logo, right? That's become synonymous with the WWE Hall of Fame. Literally put that in the middle of a screen and just have the Fiend mask sitting right on top of it.
That's all you got to do.
You don't have to put out a statement. You don't have to put his picture. Just drop that right there.
Or else have the lantern sitting at the bottom of the logo.
That's it.
One or the
Sells
other.
itself.
Yeah.
Easy as day here. But let's take a look right here. A couple of comments coming in during the show. Bananas Gaming, once again, I think the last Hall of Famer for this year is going to be The Rock's grandmother. Yes, that's what I was hinting towards just a little bit. Wait a year is definitely a suggestion when it comes to Bray. Now, for some people that may not know, The Rock's mother, Mama Maivia, as I'm going to call her, she actually did for some time, I don't know the exact time, so don't shoot me on this, took over the promotion and or territory that her husband was running at the time. So after his passing, she took it, and now is going to be recognized for it.
Yeah. Hey, you said don't shoot the messenger. I just took care of it.
Okay, whatever. Go fuck a goat. But I find it kind of funny that she's going in not even a full year into Rock being on the board for the TKO group. But that's just me.
But look what's happened so far. His daughter is freaking running as general manager in NXT and now throwing Mama into the Hall of Fame.
I mean, from where I'm from, that means Pookie and Nut about to get Rolexes or something. That's what
that is appropriate. Hold on. Epic Gaming just put in a comment. This would be appropriate.
I'm pretty sure The Rock's mom is going to be the Wart. Yes.
But then you know who that puts on the back burner, though?
Who's that?
Shad Gaspar.
Wait. Shad Gaspar, I think he went in. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he? I thought he didn't.
I think so. Don't even dare put it up there again. Don't shoot the messenger. But I think it was either last year or the year before.
It was 2022. Yeah, it was 2022.
Yes.
You got it.
Yeah, so she went a few years ago. So yeah, it'll definitely be a Warrior recipient award.
It was the year that Cody debuted.
Right. So there we go.
Yeah.
What do you think of Rock's mom getting the possible Warrior treatment, Warrior award?
I think that's more appropriate, getting the Warrior award, just because of her taking over the wrestling promotion after her husband died. I feel like that's an appropriate thing, because that's a very difficult thing to do, especially if, you might have been involved in wrestling because your husband was in it, but you may have not known all the back room workings of a promotion, and just being thrown into it, that is just a huge challenge all of its own. So her being able to do it for a number of years and be somewhat successful at it, that definitely deserves some kudos there. So I am perfectly fine with her getting the Warrior award going into the Hall of Fame. That I can understand.
Now I'm going to ask this question here, and I'm going to see if me and Astro are in agreement here. Notice he took off that hat because it's that trash. But usually when it comes to the Hall of Fame, you heard what I said. Usually when it comes to, yeah, fuck you too. Okay. Usually get some type of celebrity going into the Hall of Fame. There's one group who has not been put in, a music group, very famous group.
Hey, yo, what the fuck these niggas is doing, yo?
Really? F5's in New York City?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
No, the diverticulitis. You got to remember.
Jeez.
You see, this is what happens when Kenny Omega talks shit and tries to name it after something Brock Lesnar had, Just saying.
I'm done. But no, Peter, not Run DMC. I'm actually talking about a certain group that maybe did the music for the chief officer right now of WWE. I'm very surprised because usually there's some form of a celebrity going in. Do they count that as Muhammad Ali? Because technically he was involved with WrestleMania 1. So
yes.
Do you think Motorhead?
Yeah. Both a Yankee and an Astro agree with this. Motorhead is going to wind up going in because they put out music for Triple H for years. They provided him with his entrance music. And not only that, they actually performed for him at WrestleMania. So, I mean, I honestly think it's not a matter of if they're going to go in, it's when they're going to go in.
Ooh, okay. I would definitely like to see that too, because I think if there should be one and they keep what's going on every year like they do, they should be the celebrity of this year, but definitely if not this year, should be next year.
Yeah.
Ali would count in this case.
I kind of figured kind of like the whole Mike Tyson thing with at the later WrestleManias. Yeah. So that makes sense. So the Warrior Award, yes, I fully see Rock's mom getting that. So that's no surprise. Let's see. But yeah, that's pretty much the Hall of Fame. And I'm not too terribly upset with the way that it's looking like it's going to turn out. Mm-hmm. But like I said, next year's Hall of Fame is going to be very interesting.
Yeah, and that's something they might have to promote very quickly. I think this might be a year where they do it a little bit earlier than most years.
Definitely.
It seems like all these here were just like within a week span.
Oh, yeah.
Literally no more than 2 days.
It was like boom, 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 boom down the line. And they were like, that's it. That's everybody.
So that is it. But next topic we're going to talk about is something that was going on while we were handling our big business. There was some other big business going on too, and not in Stanford, but the company that holds home to Daly's Place.
Oh, shit. Here we go again.
AEW did something that finally a lot of people were expecting and finally came to woodwork this past week. If you've been living under a rock, this is what happened.
Moné.
Yeah, you saw it right. It finally happened after all the talk, all the rumors. We think she's coming. We thought she might go over here. She might go to WWE again. Nope, she is now all elite for now officially 2 whole weeks. Mercedes Moné is with AEW now.
Now, I'm going to say this before we get into this because I know DJ wants to try to go in and all this other shit. But let me just say this first. First and foremost, The frustrations I vented before we started this wasn't at the fact that AEW is improving or that they are, starting to take a turn toward the right direction. The frustration is that this whole tribalism crap that's going on between fans in regards to one promotion or the other or the third or the I don't give a fuck. I'm just tired of all that shit. And the thing is that one thing happens in one promotion and there's a wrestler there and they say, oh, they're shit. I don't know why they're over there. But the second they go to the promotion that they like, they're like, oh, they're the greatest thing in the world that's ever happened. Motherfucker, you better stand by the words that came out of your goddamn mouth. And if you said they sucked, then you better carry that same energy if they jump to the promotion that you like.
Yes. Now, Mercedes, it's rumored that it's a 3 to 4 year deal and a lot of money. Let's just say Mercedes got the bag. Okay, she got the bag that the WWE did not want to give, which we see as a trend with the WWE lately with the biggest 3 signings for AEW, of course, being Will Ospreay, Okada, and now Mercedes. I would have to say, just as far as her debut, wasn't a grand slam, but it was a home run. Of course, they utilized her hometown. That's where big business was, Boston, Massachusetts. Boston, Massachusetts is coming up a lot for us, Cyber. That location seems to be coming up a lot for us this past.
Oh yeah, especially the TD Arena, pro shop that's there. Yeah,
the TD
that kind of
Garden
pops
Pro
up,
Shop.
and a certain manager's name pops up too.
Yeah.
That it's gonna know me very well here in the next week or so.
Okay,
So,
reel it back in, sir.
Hey, you're the one that starts stirring the pot, motherfucker.
I stirred, but reel it back in, sir.
Hey, I was just adding the seasoning, motherfucker.
Oh,
I ain't white up over here.
Lowry seasoned salt? That's what you put in there?
No, I was adding the slap your mama bullshit.
Oh, okay, whatever. But let's bring you back in now. Steer back on the road. But no, it was a good debut. I mean, yes, us hardcore fans, we knew this was coming for a while. Casual fans finally picked up on it because we know her, formerly known as Sasha Banks, WWE. You might know her for the Mandalorian franchise on Disney Plus. Great debut. Let's see what she does with this division. Now, what I would say is they have now added 2 pretty well-known female wrestlers in quite a bit of time here. Mercedes Moné and Deonna Purrazzo. That women's division, of course, some people are injured, might be coming back pretty soon too. Jamie Hayter. That division is stacked. Now let's see what can be done with it. We still had Timeless there sitting on top of the throne as the champion. Thunder Rosa is back. You have, Sky Blue being more black than blue. And Julia Hart still with the TV. You know what I did there. You like the bar. Shut up. Better than any Houston person I know right now. But yes, I mentioned you. But the division is coming together. I have to say so. So let's see now in 6 months or maybe to the end of the year what can be with it. But Cyber, I know you got something to say about the debut, so go on and say it. Matter of fact, I'm gonna give you the full.
Oh, he's gonna give me the full. Don't I feel special over here? Yes. Fuck him. No, I'm kidding. Anyway,
wow.
Anyway, I'm starting to feel petty as hell over here. But anyway, first and foremost, like DJ was saying, us hardcore fans, fans of both organizations, multiple organizations, we knew this was coming from a mile away. It was not a surprise. We knew it was coming, especially once we found out what the pay amount was for Mercedes to show up. I'm not ticked off that she got the bag. That's all a part of it. That's all a part of it. You go get your bag, you go make your money, you go do what you're going to do. The one thing, if I was like a full-blown AEW mark, the one thing that would piss me off is what she said in an interview on a podcast. I think it was Van Fleet again. Man, he gets a hold of everybody and their mama to get interviews. But she flat out said, I'm eventually going to go back to the WWE. If I was an AEW mark, I wouldn't let that shit slide. I would be like, okay. So you're just here for the money. You don't give a shit about the organization like some of these others. But no, they're like, oh yeah, we got Mercedes, we got Okada, we've got Ospreay, we've got all these people. If I was Okada and Ospreay, I'd be pissed. I'm being honest. DJ, tell me if you weren't Ospreay or Okada and found out how much Moné was getting, you wouldn't be pissed off.
And I've been waiting.
Okay, I've been waiting. I tried to give you a good 2 minutes here with the full, but I got to do this to you now. Listen, it's a little bit different with Okada and Ospreay. We're gonna tell the real. We're gonna tell the real right here. Ospreay was lowballed by the WWE.
Now you see, you're the one who's bringing the WWE up. I'm not right now.
The reason why I got to bring that up is because that's the only other game in town. Remember, we had this NBA Live, NBA 2K argument earlier. Okay, all right.
Here we go, this motherfucker.
Simmer down. He was lowballed, so he got what he wanted. AEW, not a problem. Okada, yes, 20 years, mostly in New Japan, known as the Rainmaker, probably one of the greatest wrestlers, top 5 dead or alive. Got it. He got his bag too. He got a pretty nice bag for himself. Mercedes has something that Will Ospreay and Okada don't have. And everybody tuning in now, tell me if I'm wrong. She's actually been in stuff other than a wrestling ring. That Disney Plus is a big deal. Anything Disney at this point, you should know that clearly, Mr. Disney. But that's a big deal to them. And remember, AEW is now trying to get over into that realm as well. Remember, they had the reality show about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. They're now trying to get other projects to move it further. Hell, they're in bed with Warner Brothers, for God's sakes. We know what Warner Brothers already does. So you can't be mad about her getting her bag. She got the most of any woman, pretty much free agent in the past, maybe 10 years, give or take? Because remember, WWE was the only game in town for 20 years, So we can't really get mad at that. I mean, if you want to get mad at her getting the bag, be mad at WWE lowballing offers.
But like I told you, that's part of business, though.
Well, guess what? Then don't get mad when somebody else uses their resources to get people in.
And who said I was mad?
Hey, she got the bag. I don't know how they should be mad. Why are you gonna be mad?
No, if I was Will Ospreay or Okada, I would be mad. Like, really? Legitimately.
Really?
Just their careers they've had alone.
Okay.
Even if they got half of what she had.
Okay, so let's just be honest here. This is not taken away from the wrestling ability of Okada or Ospreay, especially Okada, who's been doing it for 20 years. But let's be honest here, since we want to talk about social media and all this stuff here. If we was to put 3 of those pictures together, Okada, Ospreay, and Moné, which one would anybody recognize in the middle of 42nd Street, Times Square? It would be Moné. That's what they're going for now. AEW has the wrestling. They have the talent. Now they need to become more of a social presence. And doing that is by getting Moné. You have casuals that know about her. You had numerous publications giving out that story that Moné is now all elite back in the United States. That's what they're trying to go for. It's not their fault. AEW is trying to now go mainstream. And doing a pretty good job at it, too, by getting one of the more familiar faces over the past 5 years in women's wrestling. You would think her, right?
Well, all I got to say, this goes back to a conversation we had weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Back when Okada was first announced that he was leaving New Japan.
Right.
I told you, how could he get exposure in America before going to AEW? How could he have done that?
Yeah.
Going to New Japan strong, being there for 6 months in the States, and then making the transition, because I could tell you this, he'd probably have a little more money in his pocket if he did.
But let's be honest here. New Japan Strong, albeit we know that's more of a hardcore organization or fan base. He wants to go where he can get that popularity. He's already done the wrestling thing. He's kind of like, if you want to put into this thing, maybe not the right player to use. He's like the LeBron James over there in Japan for New Japan. That's him.
Oh, you don't want to use the flopper compared to him.
I said that to piss you off. But he's pretty much like that. He's done it all. He just never been in the States and got that exposure.
And I will flat out say this until the day I die. LeBron James ain't top 10. He's not top 5. He's not even top 20. He needs to get off the damn list because I have never seen someone flop so many damn times in my life in the NBA than I have seen this man kiss the floor.
I'm fighting for my life. Y'all killing me with this.
He ain't shit. He won't win another title. And he's probably going to retire before he plays with his son.
I can't take this shit no more.
That's a lot that you said there. I wouldn't. I don't necessarily disagree with some of the statements, and some of them I do agree.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Real quickly, I think LeBron will play with his son for at least 1 year. 1 year. I think that
if he does, I'll be surprised.
But let's take a look here at the comments. Let's see. Got Peter here. Of course, talking about the man. I'm not even going to go there with Peter right now. Let's see. Mine would move sticks more in America because people know who she is, either because of WWE, the Disney show, she is, or her cousins. Yes. Also, remember, her cousin is a certain rapper by the name of Snoop Dogg, Mercedes Moné. So she definitely is known more in the socials than Ospreay and Okada combined. Once again, not taken away from their wrestling prowess, unless you're Triple H and you don't know what to do with them and you lowball them. But, you know, she's just more known socially. And I know Tony is going to be using that. Hell, she's already doing interviews in local areas already. Wherever, you know, AEW pulls into, that's exactly where she's going. Real quickly, more here. She has ties to Snoop, Ray J, and Brandy. That is also correct.
Yeah.
Shout out to Banana Epic Gaming with that. Peter says, who was on Jimmy Kimmel with Dre and 50? Look out for Stop. We're just not going to go there. But
Jesus.
yeah, so let us know on our social medias. Of course, the Wrestling Revival Podcast on IG. How do you feel about Mercedes Moné being now all elite? Do you like the signing? Do you not like the signing? Do you think it's a gray area? You need more time to tell? Let us know.
And like I said, I'm going to say this one more time before we move on. I'm not saying that it wasn't a bad signing. I'm not saying that it was wrong for them to sign her. What the? You can go fuck yourself with that.
Sorry, that's the world's smallest violin.
Shut your bitch ass up.
Oh, you want it to be louder? You want to do that? You want me to do some Shinsuke for you? That's what you want? Okay, cool. Just let me know. Just remember, Anthony Volpe, one pitch. Just remember that. You remember.
Stop it! Don't shoot that little motherfucker no more!
You ain't shit. You ain't shit.
Notice how he stopped y'all, but okay, cool. But nah, speaking of big business, let's talk about what actually occurred tonight on AEW Dynamite. Of course, now this is the third week going into after Revolution, and they did not pull any punches as this one was across the border. That's right. It was in Drake's hometown of 666, Toronto, Canada, and they did not disappoint. Started to show off, of course, the lady we've been talking about for a few minutes, Mercedes Moné, and actually gave a video package onto why, you know, she almost didn't make it to AEW, explaining the injury with Willow Nightingale back, you know, a couple of months back in New Japan, setting up what looks like could be a brewing storyline between her and Willow Nightingale. Willow and Chris Statlander, that's right, former TBS champion, did have to come out and make the save on Mercedes as she was getting, you know, tangled up with the ladies of black, of course, Julia Hart and Sky Blue. So it looks like that's setting up for something maybe towards Dynasty in April. We'll have to see about that. Then we started off with the Continental Classic Championship match with Okada going up against New York's own Eddie Kingston. But this time, New York did not do so well, I can say right now. And new Continental Champion cleanly, no interference from the Bucks. Okada is your new Continental Champion. Looks like that's going to be a thing for a while, because immediately after the victory, the music hit. And if you're a fan of this cruiser light heavyweight, you knew what time it was. It was time for the bastard. Pac made his entrance, and it looks like we're going to probably have Pac versus Okada coming up at Dynasty. The card is looking stacked already, and they still got a good month left to promote.
Dude, I will admit that the card for Dynasty is actually looking really good already, and it hasn't even been announced for that long.
Yeah, so that's definitely looking like a big banger of a pay-per-view so far. Then we had a little bit of Swerve Strickland giving it up to the crowd and letting them know that basically he's looking to beat somebody up tonight. And he had the Mr. T 18 chain on. I pity the fool. I pity the fool who chose to go up against Swerve Strickland tonight. It was the Butcher. The Butcher got his ass beat. Let's just put
Which
it.
was no surprise at all.
Yeah, no surprise. But shout out to Butcher. He got a haircut, though. It'll actually look better than a person that I know who should be getting hair club for man. But anyway, moving forward, we did have Chris Jericho versus Hook. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like y'all to bow y'all heads in remembrance of Chris Jericho. All right, now that we got that shit out the way.
Take him to church.
Chris Jericho got his ass beat. Within 10 seconds of the match starting, he already got dropped on his head by Hook with one of the suplexes. Hook led off another 14, count it, 14 more suplexes in this match. We're talking Northern Lights, belly to belly. Catching off the top rope a la Randy Orton with RKO. It was just bad all around. I actually checked personally Toronto law. I thought that Hook was going to jail for elderly abuse. Okay, that it was just that bad. Jericho did hit the lion salt, but in the end, he got caught with a red rum from the top rope. Let that sink in what I just said. Red rum from the top rope. And nonetheless, got the roll up, and Hook did get the victory on Jericho. So that's how that went. But we got a tag match with, of course, Timeless, Toni Storm, and Mariah May. I had to even do a double take. I was like, wait a minute, ain't that the clothes that Toni Storm first wore when she got the AEW? Okay, cool. Then they were going up against, of course, Thunder Rosa, making her AEW Dynamite wrestling debut. It's been a while since we've seen her on Dynamite. And she tagged up with Deonna Purrazzo. So who got the victory? Surprisingly, with another roll-up, Thunder Rosa got the victory. So looks like that might be going on with maybe a rematch at Dynasty between Toni Storm and Purrazzo for that AEW Women's Championship, or would injured wrestler finally return, Jamie Hayter. So we'll have to see about that. And of course, in the main event, which tore the roof off, we could only have it in Toronto. It was the I Quit match between TNT champion Christian, you know, the patriarch of the family, the Waynes coming down with her, and Luchasaurus, I'll still call him Luchasaurus, going up against Adam Copeland. Now, ladders were used, Spike came out, Mama Wayne ran for some handcuffs. You know, that's the first time she ever ran away for some handcuffs now, y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Okay, that's the first time she ever ran away from them. But in the end, with some help from Daniel Garcia, actually got the victory. That's right. We have a new TNT champion. It is Edge. Christian was about to get hit with Spike where the sun don't shine in the front. And yeah, we have a new TNT champion. It is Adam Copeland. Now, AEW is running Rampage as we speak. Might be going, well, actually already off the air for tonight. But that is due to March Madness being on this week. So That and Collision. Collision will not be on this Saturday. That will be on the following Saturday as March Madness starts winding down. So that's what happened on Dynamite this week. I gotta say, making improvements. Production, it seems to be top notch. I don't know what they're doing. Maybe they're drinking some OT energy, but it's been looking really good. So kudos to them.
Or like I told you earlier, it could be because of that former ex-WWE employee being hired who worked with Mercedes Moné on SmackDown and also was part of the storylines for SmackDown a few years ago. And it was pretty good writing. So, I mean, I could definitely see that a lot of these improvements that are coming in is because there's someone else there that is actually putting the recommendations out there and implementing this stuff. So, like I said earlier, I'm not shitting on them. It's just we're seeing where it's coming from.
I will say this. This has been something that's been probably the main complaint that people in the IWC, whether you're an AEW fan, WWE, or you were the 5 people that like TNA, they all have been saying, what? Did I say something wrong? Oh, I'm sorry.
5 people who like TNA.
6 people. I'm sorry. Okay, I forgot. Jordan Grace fans out there. But
some people like the other muscle mommy. What can I say?
I'm not going to touch that. That was a good one, but I'm not going to touch that one.
Touch it. Touch it. Touch it. Touch it.
Okay, Busta Rhymes. But
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button.
This guy right here. But no, it's just, I don't know. Like, they just got something different. They're giving you the video packages before a match, let you know why I should be cheering for this guy coming down ringside. Why are people just screaming a name of Hook? What is Hook? Let me tell you why it's Hook. They're actually paying more attention and I guess just a little bit more detail. Because I honestly say, since Revolution, Dynamite has been just a breath of fresh air since, honestly, maybe since the debut, maybe the first 2 years of AEW's existence. And that's saying a lot. You know, they've lost some people in between, but seems like maybe that's just getting better. So shout out to whoever they got, a diamond in the rough. Somebody's trash is another person's treasure. And that's just right now, maybe AEW. So let's see if it continues.
Yeah, that's all we can do. So wait and see.
Wait and see there. Let's see. We got some comments down here. Banana saying, I don't like when the homie Raya faces the mommy Deanna. Let's see. Somebody's a Deanna Peraza fan there. Just
a little bit.
And he also said here, Hook should have gave them 100 more. The suplex,
I detect no lies told.
If you didn't see it, definitely look out for it this week. He just gave him a textbook lesson in suplexes. I'm not going to say Suplex City because we know what that would mean. But, yeah, shout out to Hook with that. He definitely showed why he is 730 crazy and from, of course. Just saying. Just saying. So, let's go real quickly before we end the show for tonight. Let's talk some WWE 2K24. Let's talk about it. The game has been out for a couple of weeks now. Gut reaction. If you had to say 1 or 2 sentences regarding WWE 2K24, what would you say, Cyber?
You said 2 words?
2 sentences.
2 sentences. Okay. You know, I can only sum it up really in like 2, maybe 3 words.
Okay.
To me, what it comes down to is it's a better game. It's better. It's better than what the past 2, 3. Well, for sure, come on, 2020. Do we really want to skip over that fact?
We don't talk about that.
Do we really want to talk about 2020?
If that was golf, that's a mulligan. We don't talk about that. Like, we don't talk about Bruno.
I'm telling you.
No.
On a ranking, I would put it at an 8, an 8.5.
Okay. Okay. Favorite mode in it right now?
To be honest, my favorite mode was My Rise Undisputed.
Okay. Now, don't give away what happens in that mode. We want people to try it out because that was a doozy.
Oh, did you finally play through it?
We ain't gonna speak on it. I'm just saying it was definitely a doozy of one. Definitely leave your head scratching, especially with the somebody from the Street Profits. I'll just leave it at that. Was not happy. Just leave it at that.
I will say that, but I'm also too currently playing through the other My Rise right now. I haven't touched it in a while, but I'm going back to it. But I mean, it's definitely something. The game is better than what it's been the past couple of years. You have to agree with me on that.
No, I do agree with you. I give them the mulligan for 20. We don't even talk about it. We don't talk about Bruno.
It didn't happen.
Didn't happen. Exactly. It's erased from history. That's been going on a lot lately with WWE anyway. But needless to say,
yes.
I have to say, WWE 2K24, I would give it a strong 9 out of 10. A 9 out of 10. It definitely is better than last year's, but that's not to say last year's wasn't good either. It just took what was last year, what was great about it, continued on that, and then what they need to improve, they did.
Yeah.
One thing I have to say, and this is probably for anybody that's played it, especially on next gen, PS5, Series X, or S. Haven't y'all noticed that once you select your wrestler, your arena, the match entrances start within 5 seconds? When's the last time that game ever loaded that fast in their franchise? You can't blink or your next guy is coming out. Like, that's how fast the game has been. And the patches have been rather quickly, very fast so far. I think it's already up to their 3rd or 4th update, and the game hasn't even been out a month yet. So 2K is listening. Maybe they got more devs working this year, but all good things that I've seen so far.
They've definitely stepped in the right direction, and I've started playing the showcase mode too. I love it. The showcase mode, it is on point.
Definitely is. And for anybody that hasn't picked up the game, I think we both can say you should definitely pick this up. Whether you're a casual WWE fan or a hardcore, you will enjoy it. Plus the community creations. You know what? Shout outs to all those community creation people out there. Shout outs to Jenna, Iconic 2K, What the Status. Those are some of the big guys. Dre 41. If you ever play any of those WWE games, you know those people I mentioned. They do some of the best community creations in the entire franchise.
Yep.
Definitely check them out. These guys already got like most of the AEW roster done, New Japan, arenas, man. And it makes the game even more playable when you have things like that in it. Hey, you just love AEW? Boom, you can put them all in there in just a snap. So definitely like that game. Pick it up right now. You can easily buy it right off your system, off the PlayStation or Microsoft ecosystem. Or if you got the Nintendo Switch, guess what? You can buy it on there too. 2K24, definitely approved here by the Wrestling Revival podcast. So just looking at the comments here, and they are in agreement here, Cyber. Banana says 9 out of 10, solid game. My Rise is better than last year. My GM is better and harder. Yes, that mode often slept on in the game in that franchise, but my GM did get better this year. Okay, and Bananas also said it loads crazy fast. I went to get a drink, and when I came back, was already in the ring, and my opponent was halfway down the ramp.
Yeah, dude.
That tells you how fast it goes. So
big improvement. Big improvement.
Definitely try play it, and maybe you might catch one of us and play it online and get your ass whooped. It just happens. That's what we do over here on the podcast. So
Peter, that's no surprise. You have to be different. I have yet to get the game. I only have 2K20. Ugh.
And 2K20 of all of the games too. Yeah, I would have kept that to myself. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, love you, but sorry. I would have kept that to myself.
But do we though?
We do.
Especially with the whole DMX thing.
Okay, now since you brought that up again, we might have to talk, Peter, sometime in the next couple of days. We might have to talk about that. But Cyber, it's that time.
It is that time, sir.
It is that time. We've been telling you guys for the inception of the show, we were waiting to have a very special guest be our first guest here on the Wrestling Revival podcast. And during WrestleMania week, that's right, that Wednesday before WrestleMania, that's when that special guest will appear. Now, that special guest will be... No, we're not going to tell you just yet.
No, I was about to say, you better,
So you know what? Should we give him 2 hints, one from each one? Who it should be? Like, what person or entity it could be? You want to go first, Cyber?
Okay, so the first hint of who it is, he has associations with a Hall of Famer.
Okay.
DJ?
This person has been in at least one WWE video game.
That's all
That's all the hints you are going to get.
That is all you're getting right now, ladies and gentlemen.
That's all you are going to get. Next week, you might get another hint. But trust me, you want to have that Wednesday WrestleMania week circled on your calendars. Tell a friend to tell the friend to tell the other friend's cousin who's not an Astros fan. But tell them all that this special guest, the Wrestling Revival podcast, we're going to have our first special guest. And trust me, it will shock you. Who knows? That could be a hint right there.
Epic Gaming says, what year is said Hall of Famer and what game, 2K or pre-2K?
We're not going to do that.
We're not going to go into that.
The only 2K I know right now is B2K. Okay, so you're going to bump to next week. How about that?
Jesus.
Okay.
All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We do appreciate it as always. Make sure you tune in next week. We'll probably give another hint or two. Just you gotta stay tuned. Make sure you're checking us out on all of our socials here on YouTube and also on X. And make sure you follow us on all of our socials. So, guys, we appreciate you as always. We're gonna go ahead and let our favorite Yeet Man lead us out of here, and we will see y'all next week.
I'm out the bloodline. I'm out of SmackDown. I'm out of WWE. Deuces.